Honorable Governor of Telangana, Shri Vishnu Varma, Shri Kailash Satyarthi, and Shri Jayesh Ranjan, welcome and thank you so much for helping us begin this year's festival. Before we begin, however, the HLF Organizing Committee would like to take a moment to express our sadness at the passing of Indra Dhanrajgir, a well-known patron of the arts, a poet herself, and a familiar presence at mushairas and poetry gatherings in the city. The Hyderabad Literary Festival and the city's literary community will miss her deeply. But back to the festival. Now we can feel the excitement in the air. For the past several days, and especially since last night, a steady stream of authors, poets, thinkers, artists, musicians, filmmakers, theater professionals have been arriving in the city to stimulate and inspire us at the 16th edition of the Hyderabad Literary Festival. My name is Usha Raman, and I'm one of the 5 directors of the festival, and we are delighted to welcome you all here today. For 16 years now, a small and committed team has brought to the city a remarkable feast of creativity, with books and writing at its core, but expanding to many other forms of artistic expression. Every January, for 3 days, we have the chance to immerse ourselves in ideas, stories, images, and performance, and to step briefly away from the burdens of everyday life. At the same time, the festival also invites us to think more deeply and critically about the world we inhabit, and perhaps equips us with new ways of engaging with its challenges. Literature and the arts are not merely an escape. They are essential, the infrastructure of our intellectual, emotional, and relational lives, just as vital as the material infrastructures that make our cities function. In that sense, it's perhaps fitting that we are gathered at a venue that represents the power of ideas and creativity of a different sense, layered for 3 days with the unique energy that literature and the arts bring. Over the years, the Hyderabad Literary Festival has become an important part of the city's winter cultural calendar. We have grown significantly since moving to this venue, and last year, nearly 120,000 people attended the festival over 3 days. This year, as before, we have 15 parallel streams and close to 100 events each day, including talks, panel discussions, workshops, demonstrations of art and culture, storytelling, and much more, and for audiences of all ages. Kashmir is the region in focus this year, with a rich selection of cinema, literature, and exhibitions highlighting its landscapes, crafts, and creative voices. We're also delighted to host outstanding cultural performances by artists from the Valley. This year, we have the special honor of hosting 2 Nobel laureates, Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, who's on the dais with us, and Abhijit Banerjee, Nobel laureate in economics, alongside celebrated authors, emerging voices, scientists, activists, and thinkers engaging with issues of contemporary relevance. I encourage you to explore the schedule. You will truly have a problem of plenty. So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please walk around, follow your curiosity, pick up a book, engage with ideas, and most of all, enjoy yourselves. I'd like to now invite the chair of the festival committee, Shri Jayesh Ranjan, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, Governor of Telangana, Shri Vishnu Varma, respected Nobel Laureate Kailash Satyarthi ji, who is with us the second time in the last 2 months, and we will all be witnessing the release of the book that he has written, Karuna. My colleague, festival directors, Teja, Usha Garu, all the other dignitaries, members of the organizing committee, and guests. It's my pleasure also to welcome all of you to the 16th edition of the Hyderabad Literary Festival. In fact, for any event like this, one of the most heartwarming thing, something which really gladdens your heart, is when people say that there is so much happening that we can't decide which session to attend, which one to skip. It's a very tough choice. And this edition also presents something which is very, in some ways, a very happy kind of a problem, that there is so much packed in the short period of 3 days. The Hyderabad Literary Festival obviously has grown in stature. Many of you who have attended the very first edition and the edition now and the ones in between would have noticed it. Venues have changed. We have tried 2-3 venues, but we have now kind of decided that this is the one which gives us the best bet. Numbers have risen. The diversity of activities have also gone up. In fact, many of you would also be struck by the exhibitions which are happening surrounding this event. If you walk around, you will see some very well curated, very attractive and fascinating exhibitions. Lots of other activities which engage the entire age range of readers, from very young ones to elderly ones. All kinds of opportunities are being given, looking at different interests, different tastes, etc. In the evenings, like every other edition in the past, we have special cultural shows. Some of the artists who have been chosen to perform here possibly have never performed in Hyderabad before. So it's also a very unique distinction for the HLF. Not much is spoken about it. We talk about the authors, the book releases, the intellectually stimulating panel discussions, but the cultural performances in the evenings, the interlude and the main cultural performances, those are also things to really look up to. So a lot is in store for the next 3 days. And I do hope that the patronage of all of you will continue for this event. I also want to mention, I look after 2 portfolios in the government which are in some ways have a very strong connect with literature, exchange of knowledge, culture, ideas, etc. One, of course, is that I'm the Special Chief Secretary looking after tourism and culture. And I'm also the Special Chief Secretary looking after the metropolitan area. In the metropolitan area, which is the city of Hyderabad, one of the tasks which I have taken upon myself is to improve the livability of the city. When we compare Hyderabad, let us say, to other cities, we always feel that ours is far better city, more livable, and the very direct evidence is the growth of new businesses, which you see here actually, all around us. New businesses have grown in the last few years. And that is a sign that cities' acceptability, people are putting their money where their mouth is. That is really happening. But when you compare us to global cities, you obviously recognize that a lot has to be done much more. And we are trying to identify 100+ interventions which will improve the livability of the city. And all of these interventions are those which can be turned around in a matter of 2 to 2.5 years. These are not 10-year projects, 20-year projects, and so on. And one of the interventions which we are planning to do is to have, we have not frozen the number, but large number of libraries, hyperlocal libraries, bigger libraries, in fact, revamp the central library and make this whole idea, whole culture of intellectual discussions, exchange of knowledge, exchange of ideas, convert libraries as a center where school children can actually go there and do their homework. There are programs, there are hyperlocal kind of meetups, and so on and so forth. So my vision now is that HLF, while this is an event which will happen here from today till day after tomorrow, but for the rest of the year also, HLF will remain prominent, visible, relevant in this kind of movement that we are planning to do. So I'm very happy that lots of people volunteer for this, the signature event, the annual event for the HLF, but I would like to engage them in taking up this very important initiative, which eventually will improve the livability of the city, but also will bring us newer audience, people who somehow feel that this is too far away, will still feel that there are lots of run-up activities happening, and it is worth investing their time and effort to come to the knowledge city for this event. So once again, warm welcome to all of you. And before I end, I would also like to formally extend my thanks to the sponsors. If you look around, the two boards which are here. Last year I had mentioned, I recall, that the day is not far when these two boards will not be sufficient. There will be more boards required, and we are gradually progressing towards that. But three main sponsors that you can see. Of course, government's logo has been kind of put up because maybe I'm the chair of this committee, but the other important sponsors are CREDAI and Dr. Reddy's and Indian Immunological Limited. So I'm also grateful to the three important sponsors, and of course, not to undermine the important role played by so many others, but it's just that it will be difficult to acknowledge each and everyone. All of us have come to hear our dignitaries, Honorable Governor and respected Kailash Satyarthi ji. So once again, let us have the most enjoyable 3 days of ideas, stimulating thoughts, and making new friends, creating new communities, and discovering the joy of what a wholesome literary festival can offer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jayesh ji. We're delighted to have with us today Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, who will engage in conversation in a plenary session immediately after this inaugural. But at this moment, I would like to invite him to say a few opening remarks.
Good morning, namaste. Honorable Your Excellency Governor Shri Varma ji, Shri Jayesh ji, Usha ji, other dignitaries, sisters and brothers. I never knew that I have to visit Telangana or Hyderabad in less than 2 months' time, as you rightly pointed out. The first mantra of Rig Veda says a very big thing. Thousands of years ago, our rishis have thought something which is still relevant. It says, Agni Mide Purohitam Yajassu Deva Mratyujam Hotaram Ratna Dhatamam. So Vedic Sanskrit has several meanings, but one of the easiest meanings is that those who are willing to make the society better. Purohit means not Pandit ji. Choti voti rakhna zaruri nahi. Purohit means those who are willing to do good for humanity. So let all such people come together, assemble together, and ignite the fire of knowledge. Offer their best to multiply the fumes. And that is converted into prosperity for all. Prosperity for all. So conversion of knowledge to prosperity. What a great idea. Can you think? So many years ago. And this is exactly happening today. I would like to congratulate the organizers of this festival, because essentially this festival is the festival of knowledge. Through literature, art, music, cinema, all forms of knowledge creation. And needless to say that literature breaks all the boundaries. It goes beyond the cultures, it goes beyond the generations. So whatever is being written today and people will read or buy the books here, this is not simply reading the books or gathering the knowledge, but opening our minds, opening our horizon, feeling connected with the rest of the world, and finding your place, your role, how to contribute something for the betterment of this nation and the world. And that is the importance of such kind of festivals. Needless to say that we live in a world with a lot of complex problems, lot of crises, and every single crisis cries for your response. Inertia, apathy, indifference, which has become the new norm of our life, literature will help in getting rid of it. And that is the reason I have written the book, which is being released officially by the Honorable Governor in a minute or two. I am going to speak more on it with my very dear friend and sister, Shantaji. But let me underline one thing, that when I am talking about compassion, I'm not talking about the definition, the understanding, the wisdom you might have about compassion. Compassion is not a soft emotion. That I have learned in all my life, freeing more than 130,000 children from slavery and trafficking. And I have seen the lives of many more people who have been or still fighting for the betterment, for the justice, for the welfare. And their driving force was compassion. Not as a soft emotion, not as sympathy, empathy, kindness, mercy, pity, benevolence, though they are good human traits. Good for spontaneous response to a situation of suffering and pain. But they are not going to solve those deep-rooted socio-cultural, political, institutional, systemic and systematic injustices which prevail in the world. And that's why you will listen more about my new definition and new interpretation of compassion as a force. In the simplest words, compassion is mindful problem solving. When I got the Nobel Prize, a foreign journalist asked me the first question, Kailash, India is a place of millions of many problems, so difficult, complex problem, and child slavery, child labor is one of them. And my spontaneous and simplest answer was, I smiled and said that, my friend, India may be the land of 100 problems, but my motherland is the land of over 1 billion solutions. And that is the core message of my book, that instead of just fixing ourselves in the web of problems, thinking, analyzing problems, we have enough knowledge about the problems of the world. Now what is needed is to emerge as the problem solver, to create a culture of problem solving. And that is possible through compassion. And I hope that when you go back from here, you will feel more compassionate, not just kind. Good to be kind, but be change. Because compassion is change. Compassion is a dynamic, disruptive, and transformative force. And we are all born with it. We are all have the ocean of compassion inside us. My humble effort is, let us awaken it. let us awaken. Let us ignite the power of compassion. We have globalized markets and economy and data and whatnot, and we are facing so many problems. This is the time of globalizing compassion. And this globalization of compassion will begin from India. If Indians and India cannot do it, no one else can do it. Let us start globalizing compassion. Are you ready for it? Do something good for the society. मैं कोई पॉलिटिशियन थोड़ी हूँ ना धर्मगुरु हूँ. मैं तो आप लोगों में से एक हूँ. हाथ उठाकर कहिए. Go beyond the kindness, go beyond the mercy, go beyond the forgiveness. Be the change to make the humanity back to track. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji. I would now like to request our main guest on the dais, our Honorable Governor, Shri Vishnu Varma, to say a few words welcoming all of you to the festival. Shri Varma is himself a writer, so he has for long been a patron of the arts and a key force in running literary festivals in the city, most recently the Northeast Literary Festival. So may I invite the Honorable Governor to say a few words.
Namaskar. On the dais, Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji, Nobel Laureate, Shri J.S. Ranjan, Special Secretary, Special Chief Secretary to the Government of Telangana, Dr. Usha Raman, Festival Director, Shri Teja Balantrapu, Festival Director, distinguished guests, friends. It's a privilege to inaugurate the 16th edition of the Hyderabad Literary Festival, celebrating ideas, imagination, dialogue, and cultural harmony. I commend the Hyderabad Literary Trust for nurturing a vibrant, inclusive platform that brings writers, thinkers, artists, scholars, and citizens together in the spirit of learning. This year, nearly 350 distinguished speakers from India and abroad enrich this festival, reflecting Hyderabad's growing stature as a global cultural and intellectual destination. And last year also I was here, and it is indeed very, very happy to see that this festival is growing. And I heard the speech of the Special Chief Secretary, and I'm also glad to know that, to make Hyderabad more livable, he is planning to open more libraries. And I would say from this podium that libraries need to become more relevant, actually. The old concept of library is just being storehouse of books, cannot have relevance anymore. So libraries have to be planned in a vibrant, so the youngsters are there. They have to be centers of thinking, centers of discussion, centers of exchange of ideas, and a hub for youngsters, as well as elderly people also. And I am also very happy to and privileged to release that book on compassion by Satyarthi ji. He was speaking so well, defining compassion, which is a very, very difficult task. And he has done it very well. And he'll speak to you later also, interact with you all. And I would define compassion. I was listening to him and thinking, how do you define compassion actually? It's a very challenging task. I would define compassion as a human or a humanitarian gravitational force that keeps you grounded, that keeps you bound together, the society bound together. It is that integrative force, and the opposite of compassion would be disintegration. So compassion, as he said rightly, is not a very feeble or a very weak emotion. It's an emotion that plunges you into so many things. and keeps you there. To be passionate about a thing is that is the thing that draws the very Lakshman Rekha, I would say, in India, of success and failure. The thin line that divides success from failure is compassion and passion, as you would see it. And the thin line that divides interest from disinterest is the same thing. So it's a very beautiful concept. And our nation and our civilization has been in the forefront of, defining and propagating this idea of compassion. And we have, defined compassion through a very beautiful Indian word, which has no equivalent in the English word dictionary. That is dharma. We have defined it and dharma is not something very complicating. People make it sound very complicating of, quoting texts and quoting Vedas and quoting Upanishads and makes it it is just right action and right thought. Right action through right thought. After all, the trigger is the mind. And as long as the human mind exists, there will be literature. As long as the human mind exists, there will be literature. That is the way people think. Whether you read it on a tablet or you read it on the screen or you read it digitally or you can read it through ears also. Now that you have this book, audio books, you will read. And you will read literature. It may be any form. And that is because the human mind thinks beyond. And human beings are the only animals, I think, on earth that can be trained and also educated. The others can be trained, cannot be educated. So as long as the mind exists, literature will exist. In what form? And we'd like to see it in the compassionate form. And literary fests have become very popular. Earlier it was made popular by the Jaipur Lit Fest that became globally very trendy. Today we have Lit Fests in small states like Meghalaya, which have become very, very well known. And in my home state, Tripura, we just started last year. So it is catching on. People like to discuss, people like to talk. Because the book has to be redefined. Today, a book is not something that, you keep on the shelf and you display whether you read it or not. A book is something that you read, you discuss, and youngsters are liking it. And I'm very happy to see so many youngsters here in yellow t-shirts. It shows that the book is safe. It shows that the book is safe. And I am, very happy news. Hyderabad is, that book of literature festival is one of the largest in the country, I was told by him. And he conducted my Northeast Literature Fest also. And the government of Telangana helped me. Without their help, it would have not been possible for us to do it. It was done very well, and a lot of authors came from Northeast. And I was very happy to see that. They came all the way to Hyderabad, spoke to the Telugu writers, and that is what? That is what is, literature, the sharing of knowledge. And not only of knowledge, sharing of knowledge sounds very textual. It is the mind, it is the intellect and the emotion. Literature has both. It must have the intellect, it must, vibrate in your intellect and also in your heart. That makes perfect literature. I am very fond of reading. I come from the eastern side of the country, so I am very fond of reading Rabindranath Tagore. And I like him because of that. He invigorates you. His poems or his writings, that famous poem, whether my mind is without fear, the head is held high, that is still evergreen because it not only inspires your intellect, it also touches your heart. And this is the type of Viksit Bharat we want to make. Citizens who look forward not only with their minds, but also with their hearts, with a sense of compassion. As I said, as in India, the compassion has the greatest. We have given the greatest respect. Because that is dharma. Because that is dharma. And everything in this country, in Bharat, is centered around this. The epicenter of the life of Bharat is on dharma. It's not on dharma. We can't find a word, so we use the word religion. Since we can't find a word, we think religion kar do. We can't find a word for sadhana, we'll say it is, practice. Because we are, bad translators. We are very bad translators, actually. We want a short way out. Why can't dharma remain dharma? Why can't sadhana remain sadhana? Why do you have to understand it as a habit? Habit is just a small part of sadhana. Habit is just a small part of sadhana. And we are trying to define a concept through a small part. And that fragments our minds. We are trying to define, dharma with the word religion, which are different altogether. Dharma comes from the root word dharma, dharan karna and man. Any value that dharan upholds your mind, lifts your mind is dharma. And religious come from the word religios in Latin, which means rites and rituals. So when we try to translate these, what happens? We make the concept a part of the concept, a very wee part, a small part of the concept itself. And that doesn't enlarge your mind, that narrows your mind. When we define a concept by only a fragment, our minds also become fragmented. So that is so compassion is one of the main components of dharma, of right action and right thought. And there can be no right thought without compassion. Without the meeting of the head and the heart, there can be no right thought. And if there is no right thought, there can be no right action. So I am very happy to be here and speak to you all. And I wish this literature festival spreads more, becomes a very great festival, and I know Hyderabad has the capacity of doing it. And everyone is happy to be in Hyderabad. It's one of those places where you invite someone and you hardly get a negative answer. And I ask these people, why do you like Hyderabad? And they say there's something about it. Indefinable. When you go to some place, X, Y, Z, why do you go there? I like the architecture there. Or someone will say, I like the weather there. Someone will say, I like the whatever this culture there or dances there. You ask someone, why do you like Hyderabad? I keep asking. They tell me, sir, there's something about it. So Hyderabad is a concept itself. And anything that can be defined limits it. By trying to define everything, you limit that concept. Some undefinables are required in life. Some undefinables are required in life. So I wish you all the best, and I must also thank the sponsors. And the sponsors are very, very important in the literary world. And the government of, Telangana, they have also come forward, and especially Shri J.S. Ranjan, he is very fond of literature and art and all that. That's a very nice thing to do. To keep things going, and wish you all the best, especially the organizers and the young volunteers I can see in yellow shirts. all looking very nice and vibrant as the festival. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Your Excellency the Governor. I think you've given us a slogan for our next festival. There's something about it. Now we move to felicitate our distinguished guests. I'd like to call upon Dr. K. Anand Kumar, MD of Indian Immunologicals Limited, to present a small token to the Governor. Mr. Jaideep Reddy, President CREDAI, to present a token to Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji. And Srimati Anuradha Reddy, on behalf of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories and Saptaparni, to present a token to Shri Jayesh Ranjan. So just a word about the paintings that they have been, the photographs that they have been given. They are all copies of pictures taken by Amita Talwar, and she has an exhibition at the festival, so I urge you all to go and look at the other photographs. Very beautiful, evocative frames of Kashmir. Thank you. So now we move to the release of Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji's book. The Honorable Governor has agreed to launch the book, and I would like to request all the festival directors to come on stage to help us with the launch. Thank you all. So before we conclude, I would like to invite my colleague and co-director, Teja Balantrapu, to deliver the vote of thanks. Teja?
Good morning, everybody. I think the Honorable Governor will shortly step down and see the exhibitions. It is my pleasure and my pleasant duty to finish what the Honorable Governor and Jayesh had started, which is to thank all the kindred souls, organizations and patrons whose love for literature, art and music keeps this festival alive and is helping us grow and thrive. The Hyderabad Literary Festival is proud to partner with the government of Telangana, whose enlightened leadership has been a big source of support. This beautiful venue, all our wonderful guests, and this event came together thanks to all our sponsors and patrons. May I thank our patrons, CREDAI Hyderabad, an apex real estate body with a taste and interest in the arts. Dr. Reddy's Labs, bastions of Indian medicine. They have been a staunch and solid patron, enabling many aspects of this event. Indian Immunologicals Limited have been a rock solid and gracious support to us and to the nation. Our sincere gratitude to them all. Our partners for this edition of the Hyderabad Lit Fest include the engine of energy and the beating heart of this festival, which is the Getty Zentrum Hyderabad. They are our principal partner. I must thank our wonderful venue partners, the Sattva Group and the Knowledge Realty Trust and District 150. Our festival publication partner, Orient Black Swan. Our knowledge partners, the LV Prasad Eye Institute and ICFI Group. Our student outreach partner, Student Tribe. Our logistics partner, the Vibrant Group. The last mile connectivity partner, Swida. Trident Hotel, our hospitality partner, and Radio Mirchi, our radio partner. I would also like to thank our platinum donor, NATCO. Our gold sponsors, Bakelite Hylam, Saptagir, Kavita and Hari Bugana. Our silver sponsors, Almond House, Granules India, Mother Dairy, Navdhan. May I thank the friends of HLF, Adhyam, the Australian Consulate in Bangalore, Akshay Kalpa Organics, Ma Lakshmi, the Marg Foundation, Nava, Keto, Om and Thunder Plus, Westland Books, Vagish Dikshit and Varaprasad Reddy. I know this is a long list, but please bear with me. For this Hyderabadi institution, now in its 16th edition, has many, many supporters. Our program partners, thank you, Blue Pencil Info Design, Eco Galaxy, Moving Images, and Science in the City. This event is powered by 53EXP, Mirage Media, and Outshade. Thank you one and all for helping us put this wonderful event together. Thank you all of you for visiting, and I hope you will have a great time over the next 3 days. Now, let us stand for the national anthem again.
Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkal, Vanga, Vindhya, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uchchal, Jaladhi, Taranga. तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।